What's good with the YouTube? This video I want to talk about the best way to get your CDLs, because a lot of people be asking me, like, what's the best way that I should get my CDLs? Should I get my CDLs? First off, I want to say the best way to get your CDLs is you eventually gonna have to get a permit, but I think you should get the permit first, because that's the way I did it. You get the permit first. That way, when you get to the class, everything won't be so rushed. Because if you ain't got your permit in the class, you're going to have to focus on getting your permit. And then you got to do the permit stuff. You got to do the permit test. Then you got to learn the pre-trip. Then you got to do the driving part. So, I say before you even get to a class, get your CDL permit. So, when you get to the class, the only thing you're going to have to focus on is learning the pre-trip and the driving and the little paper, the little classroom work. But yeah, it's the general knowledge, airbags and combinations. It's 3 parts you gotta study to get your permit. I think general knowledge is like 50 questions, and the airbags and combinations is 25 questions. I think you can't get like 8 wrong, but you should just study. It ain't hard to get the permit. You just gotta study. And once you pay for it, you take it twice a day until you're able to pass it. It took me like a week to get my permit, cause I went through a lot of other schools, but it didn't work. But yeah, you want to get your permit first. So if you're thinking about getting your CDLs, I want to get your CDLs. The first step you should do is get your CDL permit. Then after that, this where it get trickier. Once it's coming to finding a class or going to a school. I went to 2 different classes, but I got sent home. If you fail the drug test in under 2 years, certain schools not going to accept you. Like Prime, I don't think Prime accept people that fail the drug test 2 years prior to them coming to Prime. Yeah. So either you can go to a school, you can go to a company, or you can find a class, local, somewhere in your home state. I think it's best if you got the money. You can save up the money if you don't got the money. I think it's best if you pay out of pocket, so when you do get your CDLs, you can go anywhere. But you also can go to a company and you'll be under contract for the first year. The good thing about that is your first year be out the way. You probably have a quick first year. So you'll have to figure out what you want to do when it comes to that. If you want to go to a company or go to a school, but you got to do what's best for you. Whatever best for you. If you feel like you want to go to a school, if you feel like you want to go to a company, you can. Who is these people? They're distracting me. Hold on. If you feel like you want to go to a school, a company like Prime, Stevens Transport, just know that first year, after you get your CDLs, that first year you got to drive for them that full first year. Like some people, they'll do probably like 5-6 months, and then they'll try to go somewhere else. Some companies can block you from going to other companies because you basically voided your contract to their company. So I went through a school though, so maybe it's best if you go to a school, or maybe it's best if you just go through a company. It just really what's best for you and what's convenient to you. Just know if you go to a company, if you go to a trucking company, you're gonna have to drive for them for at least that first year to pay off your contract. But I don't think nothing wrong with that. I was gonna do that. I was planning on doing that, but I used to smoke a lot, and around the time I was getting my CDLs, I failed a drug test, so all that backfired on me. But another thing, if you do want to get your CDLs, stop smoking. Like, it ain't worth it. The money that you're gonna be making is gonna be way better, and once you stop smoking, you'll see so much of your money. Because I used to smoke a lot too, but once I stopped smoking, it's like you barely have money to spend. You barely have stuff to spend your money on. You're only gonna be spending money on probably food while you're on the road, and you could just be stacking your money up. Figure out what you want to do, figure out a plan in your life, and do it. You can use CDL for a career, or you could just use it as a stepping stool to get to where you want to be at. Some people get in here that they want to use it as a career. That's cool. You can use it as a career. And some people get in and they just want to use it as a stepping stool. They want to get on the road, stack their money for about 5-10 years, and then move on. You could do that too, but you got to do what's best for you at the end of the day. So that's pretty much my steps of if you want to get your CDLs. My advice is to get your permit first before you even apply for a class, or be getting your permit as you applying for the class. But make sure before you get in that class, you got your permit. Because if you don't got your permit before you get in that class, it's going to be extra work that you got to do it. And a majority of the classes are just 4 weeks. So you got to be in the class. You got to study for the permit. You got to learn a pre-trip. Then you got to learn how to drive. There's so much when you could just drop it down to just learning the pre-trip and learn how to drive in 4 weeks. It should take you a good 4 weeks to learn that pre-trip and learn how to drive. But if you gotta learn the permit, if you gotta get your permit too, that's just extra work, and it's gonna make it harder for you. So just take my advice. If you want to get your CDLs, get your permit first, and then find you whatever best for you. Either you want to go to a trucking company to get your CDL, or you want to go to a local school to get your CDLs. Yeah. Make sure y'all hit the like button, drop a comment. Appreciate it.